Ruminating, an anti-trap approach to Fidelity Test funds and the legacy of my man. Today is Tuesday, 21 July 2026 AD, and here I, Tanis Shaker of Seattle, ruminate about an anti-trap approach to Fidelity Test funds and the legacy of my man, contextualizing my ruminating in terms of a 90 days repayment approach to my student loans and previous funding I received that required documenting and reporting of funds usage. So my research grant proposal 2014 to 2015 academic year, for which I received full funding, University of Hawaii at Manoa, University of Hawaii at Manoa, required documenting such as numbered receipt copies and reporting, such as a summary written report with the numbered receipt copies. On my YouTube channel, so here on YouTube, this YouTube channel, my retirement account stuffs I have executed in a similar spirit. I've kind of like, and here's, what it was used for, the spirit of, and there are things in this universe from experience, that research proposal, and sometimes they ask for the receipts. Okay, per my own life experience. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's true for everybody, just as like, it's a good one for me to keep in mind, if nothing else. Returning to the 90 days repayment approach for my student loans, two options, I listed 5 options for where funds could come from for paying off my student loans, and that repayment approach where that is like in one go. So 3 are kind of more straightforward, and then 2 are kind of like contract, and so people may or may not be familiar with that, and I was like, it'd be good for me to put that down for me and or others, especially if it were to go that way, if it were to go that way. So the 2 options are 2 options for where I could receive funds may fall into a contract enforcement category in relation to my spending the funds. Required documenting the money intended for me and only me was spent on me and only me. So option 4, so of the 5, I listed them in order, and so I'm going through the option 4. Investor gives me money for my physiology/cardiology research. So cardiology self-experimentation. So it's an investor/business contract. I spend funds on 1, student loans, stress prevention, 2, food/water/beverage just for me, 3, supplies just for me, such as a refrigerator, and that's a mini rare and infectious diseases facility inspired. So that's there are big facilities where they house, these rare and infectious diseases, and they get their own little container and their own fridge, and there's hazmat suits and stuff that are used to, like, when people are studying them, and I'm like, yeah, for me, so that would be like a refrigerator. It's starting out, or that kind of thing. So, the Tanis version of that is what? Refrigerator. Okay. Contract requires receipts and consumption tracking. Someone other than me eating a yogurt I buy with funds would be stealing from the fund. Depending on if there is not a non-disclosure agreement, I may not have corresponding YouTube content. Refrigerator may have a lock and key for safety security. Strict enforcement means only I eat from my fund. No family dinners from the fund, and adoption type visits by the investor who may ask for documentation randomly of expenditures and consumption. Follow-ups may include further investment, which I may or may not turn down. Okay. And then option 5 is another, it's a similar, a little bit different because Okay, option 5. My Elvis Presley left me funds in his will and testament, such as directed funds for my schooling and work. So it's will and testament contract. I spend funds on 1, student loans, school, 2, food/water/beverage just for me, 3, supplies just for me, such as a refrigerator, mini rare and infectious diseases facility inspired. Contract requires documentation and tracking of my expenses, as well as timely reporting of my spending of funds. Strict enforcement may include routine in-person meetings with corresponding representatives, so long as I am in possession of the money. Frequency of meetings may come with my spending habits. More spending equals more frequent meetings. Follow-up may include further funds disbursement, which I may not turn down, however, could choose not to spend. Yeah, and so these are both the contract component. There is, it's a fidelity test because am I loyal to the contract? And I have been in the past, and I've actually received that. I've gone through this over 10.00 years before in a grant proposal setting. Research grant, my area of research was volcanology. I was in the Department of Geology and Geophysics for the funding, and was working on Hawaiian volcanoes or volcanic eruptions, and so it's been I have a base. I've actually executed on this in the past, so it's not completely foreign, but it's a good ruminating area for me of present. So that's ruminating, an anti-trap approach to fidelity test funds and the legacy of